Hello lovely people, welcome to our weekly reading for the week of November the 28th. I hope you have all had a really fabulous week and I'm feeling very excited as to what the cards have to tell us about this coming week. So let's see what I have. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we have the King of Swords, court card. And then we have the Hierophant. Oh, and we have the Lovers. Right. I'm using these cards from the Lightseer Tarot. So I'll just show you what they are. And I think they're absolutely beautiful cards. So expressive. Okay, now the King of Swords is our court card, and court cards can either be a part of ourselves, a part of our own personality, or they can be somebody that's quite close to us. So, or somebody that's going to come into our life. So it's the King of Swords is well, as they all are, really, really interesting. So this particular king is a king of authority, and he's very much about discipline. He's a serious king. He has high standards, and he expects other people to adhere to these high standards. He's strict, and he exercises a lot of self-discipline. So this is kind of like the sort of key elements of our king. This king understands that power holds great responsibility. So and with this responsibility, it's really important. The message here is that it's really important to remain objective in your current situation, whatever that situation is at the moment, and that you need to establish the truth by sticking to facts. So this is not an emotional card. It's very much about using your intellect and your logic when judging a situation. And this card also recommends that you confront issues at hand, and when you've got all the facts, then you make a sober decision. So it's very much about being impartial and having high ethical standards. This card. It can also this card can also represent legal matters. So if there is something going on that requires this sort of thing, then this card can signify that. And generally speaking, the King of Swords, it can signify somebody else that's in your life, a strong, authoritative, I'm going to say male figure, but it's kind of like just a strong, authoritative figure that has good intentions. So this is a great person to talk to, very loyal. And this person may well be the key to unlocking your potential. So it doesn't have to be a male figure. It's just somebody that kind of has those kind of male traits. And so with this card comes structure and routine and level-headedness. So when this card comes up in a reading, it's saying that you may need to pay more attention to logic and to stop letting your heart lead you. It very much embodies critical thinking and reaching decisions based on facts rather than feelings. Now, the other thing that this card does is it sort of challenges your assumptions in order for you to grow. And so if you have very rigid thinking, or if you've sort of decided that, well, I've made up my mind now, and that's that, and this is the way it's going to be, or that's the way that person is, or the reason that this is happening to me is because, this card is saying challenge those assumptions. because by challenging them, you will grow, that it's okay to change your mind. This card is telling you to lose your rigidity, and maybe to ask yourself, like, what part of you is feeling rigid right now. So there's a lot of interesting things in this card. And in terms of love, like, I mean, this card kind of, again, it's that the person that would come into your life is somebody that would, or is in your life, challenges you to excel and to maintain high standards. So, you know, it's very much about, you know, finding a partner that you can connect with on an intellectual level. So I say a man who is happy with himself, somebody that is happy with himself, that they won't settle for anyone who cannot hold, you know, if you cannot hold their interest or meet their high standards. And you know, there's kind of a little saying that goes along with this card that says, you know, the way to a woman's heart is through her ear. So that she, you know, he likes to have intelligent conversations. And this kind of personality may come across as overbearing or controlling, but they're there to help you to excel and to push you. And this card is sort of is telling you that you need to accept that and to accept one another as you are. So this is also a very, very good card in terms of fatherhood. Like this card represents fatherhood, so it's a really good omen if you're wanting to start a family. Now, if you're looking at your career here and you want to maybe change your career or wonder how to go forward with it, again, we're looking at a mature older person who will challenge you and hold you to high standards. So this card would be telling you to keep a cool head in business and to make sure that you have all the facts before making a decision. It's saying, and also if you're like, you know, if you're thinking of investing, it's telling you to make sure you educate yourself first before you invest. So, very interesting card to start the week with. Now, we're followed here now by the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a major arcana card, as indeed is the Lovers. And these two cards are very much about our psyche and, you know, what's going on behind closed doors, what's happening inside of us, you know, how we're connecting to our higher self. And now, these are an interesting duo, really. So we've got the Hierophant, which is all about tradition and transformity. It's about tradition and conformity. It's about knowledge and conventionality. So this card is about embracing the conventional, that you have a certain desire to follow a process that has been well established. And that maybe you're not feeling innovative. Yep, having a bit of an issue with that word. And but adapting to beliefs that already exist. So, you know, with this card, maybe you're needing to conform to something that's already existing, an already existing set of rules and situation. So it's about, this card is suggesting that you build a regular habit and surround yourself with people that will help you. It's not, when this card comes up, it's kind of like not time to rock the boat. Or is it? You know, this is the question with this card. So this card is about taking part in a traditional ceremony or starting new traditions, you know, with somebody and making new traditions. Now, in terms of relationships, the Hierophant is the marriage commitment card. So you could expect a relationship to become a lot more committed, moving towards new relationship milestones here. this card indicates that you and your partner share the same values and goals, and obviously that's a really fantastic thing in a relationship. And it signifies maybe a new relationship, you know, if you're single, that a new relationship which will be built on commitment and love and security. That you're looking for a partner that is safe and that is traditional and respected by your community. So you need to know who your community is. If this card is speaking to you on that level, then kind of know yourself and know what it is that you want, because you want to make sure you're on the same page about everything. And you know that this relationship will feel like it's literally meant to be, and you know that's how you want it. It's, if you're single, it might be somebody in your inner circle is interested in you, and maybe you haven't become aware of that. So it's a really interesting card because it's about it's very much about knowing yourself and knowing what it is that you want. If it's coming up in a career situation, this card is suggesting that you don't rock the boat, that you stay on a tried and tested path. So, you know, here it's saying it's best to stay safe right now. That group cohesion rather than individuality is more important. So it's suggesting that you maybe keep your money in traditional established institutions, and that, you know, if you were to go into looking at new financial products, that they may cause you problems. So, you know, don't do what you don't understand. Like, you know, make sure you understand what it is you're doing, and particularly avoid gambling with your money. So in a way, it's kind of referring back to the King of Swords here, isn't it? Because the King of Swords is telling you that make sure you educate yourself before you make any sort of investments, that you know what it is you're doing. Now, this is followed by the Lovers, and there's a little bit of contradiction kind of thing in a way going on here. And this is why I asked the question about the Hierophant, like, you know, is it time to rock the, maybe it's not time to rock the boat is what the Hierophant says, but then maybe the question there is it time? Because now we have the Lovers, and the Lovers is very much about partnerships, it's about choices, it's romance, it's about balance, unity, it's about love. And but it's very much about love for yourself. I mean, that has to come first before you can really experience that kind of love with another person. Now, the Lovers is very much about choice. The whole concept of the Lovers is about choice. And if there is a dilemma, you need to think very carefully before you make any decisions, so that you can make the best decision for your situation. This card is very much about development of your own personal beliefs, regardless of societal norms. Now here we're looking at societal norms, and it's saying, you know, maybe you want to go with the group thinking, and the King of Swords is saying, you know, maybe challenge your assumptions in order to grow. So it's really interesting what's happening here. And the Lovers is saying that you need to figure out what it is that you stand for, and what philosophy, that you need to start making up your mind about what is important and unimportant in your life. To be as true to yourself in order to be genuine and authentic to those around you. So if you're going to be in the group situation, know who you are. And this is what the Lovers is saying. Know who you are to be here, and if here is the right place for you to be. If tradition is your thing, and the King of Swords, it is about tradition, but but he's also very much about challenging your assumptions. So it's the Lover's card is saying, like, don't automatically go for the easy road. You know, gather all the information so that you can make the right decision. And even if it feels like a more difficult path, you know, if you take the right path, it will lead to greater things for you. So this card is very much about finding harmony within yourself, and you know, it's about making major life-changing choices, and temptation often is part of making choices. So you know, it is very strong on saying, you know, if you have a problem, face the problem and contemplate it wisely. So it's a lovely card, and it's in terms of relationships, this card signifies a real cohesiveness and balance of forces, which indicate complementary energies. So a pair that works well together, this is just the best card for that. And it also may indicate a choice between love or work, or it may indicate a choice, you know, between love or family, or love or friendship, or love and lifestyle. Maybe, you know, there's a sacrifice to be made to have this love. So make the choice that will help you to grow as an individual. That's really important. And because you and your partner are going to have a very spiritual, emotional and mental, physical connection. And I mean, that's the sort of relationship that, you know, everybody wants. So in terms of relationship, when this card shows, it's a really, really good omen. And in terms of your career, this card can represent a business partnership where you're, you know, there's that will be really good and be mutually beneficial, where you're on the same wavelength and mutually supportive. But again, it's saying know the risks involved and be prepared for the consequences. So this is a very good time, a good card. You know, this card is saying it's a good time to seek financial opportunities. So you have 3 cards here in a row that are saying, you know what it is you want, but educate yourself. You know, don't know your risks and be careful. But it's actually a super 3 cards to come up for the week. So, what do you think? Do these cards resonate with you? So, this is the end of our reading for this week. And I just want to say again, if it does resonate with you, do leave me a comment below. And you can also subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. If you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. I would love to hear from you. You can find my email address in the description of the video. So lots of lovely people. I'm going to love you and leave you at this point. Have a fabulous week. Lots of love.